I think this is very important. I know you're a humble dude.
Yeah.
I know you're a humble man. I'm gonna have to say this just because I want businesses to really get motivation. This is not just about storytelling, the untold stories of people, but I want people to get motivation. I think we said it on the last about me, but I want to know for every single person that walks in, talk to me about what's the most amount of money you made in a month.
Ooh.
And if it's not, let's go a month.
No, let's do it.
Let's go a month.
I wouldn't.
What's the most you made? I know, like for me, we talked about it, but I want to know, like, what's the most you made in a month?
55,000. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy. That's what I'm talking about. And how did that feel?
Dropping buckets.
You lost 100,000?
I would been grinding for so long, I never stopped to realize.
What was your biggest financial mistake?
Coming, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets.
You watching Untold Raw podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. It's your guy Lavelle here.
It's your boy Mario. Welcome back to Untold Raw. Today we got a special guest.
My boy Eric Estrada.
What's going on? The one and only Punch.
So we talked about the good things, how investment turned into a great thing. But now what's your biggest mistake that you've made that a lot of businesses out here, of course you had a bad moment where COVID and everything, but now let's talk about, is there a financial mistake or a client mistake, something that you've done that just, it's a moment that made you better, changed something about your business? Let's talk about your biggest mistake in your business.
Oh, absolutely. Many, many mistakes, but the biggest one for sure has to be me choosing an influencer gig over a contract that I already had, right? So I'll explain. Somebody had booked me like a year in advance, right, for a quinceañera. And so as we're getting closer to the date, like a month before, I get a call from a big time influencer, right? And I'm like, man, like I need this opportunity, right? Like I was already in the influencer world. So those gigs were important to me, not only because they paid well, but just like that was kind of like also what helped me with marketing, right? Like people see like, oh, look, this DJ's DJing for so-and-so. And they're like, wow, so that just kind of like helped me with the relationships I built, right? So I call this client and I'm like trying to negotiate a way for me to like get somebody to cover me for a specific amount of time while I'm taking care of this influencer event. And then me show up and then do the event, and then and then like we'll kind of be good, right? Because this influencer event was going to be one during the day, and then the quinceañera was going to be later at night. So I like even gave her a discount. I was like, you know what, like for the troubles, like I'm gonna throw in a photo booth for free. I'm gonna, so I'm trying to like make things right, with this client. So here I am, like thinking like that this influencer event is going to be like the one, right? Like A-list, influencer. So the day of the event comes, we had everything set. I had a DJ cover that basically was taking the equipment to set it up. And, he was going to do that. And he was just going to do about 2 hours. And then I was going to show up after and then continue on his equipment and then do what I do best. Right. So I'm at the influencer event. We're doing it. Came out awesome. She loved it. Right. Everything went well. And then I get to, my actual contract. And I'm there and like the vibes were just kind of off. So then I'm just like, damn, like we got to figure this out. So cool. Long story short, I take care of the event. Awesome. Monday comes around, client had already paid me. So it's like, here, I got to pay the DJ cover, right? I got to pay my team, for helping me at both events. And then the other DJ that let me borrow that. So I'm like, waiting for payment from, this influencer, a week passes by. 2 weeks pass by.
No.
Dude, like I'm getting no payment and I'm just like, I'm scared, right? Because like my team is paid off and then I still owed money to that DJ that helped me cover, right? So I'm like trying to figure out like what can I do, right? Like, it's my business already very cash intensive, right? With like, paying people and, deposits here and there and paying bills and stuff. So like there's days or weeks where like, I'm literally have all my bills paid and everything. So it's like my balance is very low. So I'm like relying on these deposits or these payments from these gigs, to kind of like, get ahead a little bit. And so, I never got paid from that gig. And it made me feel bad because for one, it took me about a month to pay that DJ back. And I know he was also struggling. So like, I just kept giving him excuses and stuff. And I'm big on relationships. So it's like, this is somebody I considered a friend. So I was like, anytime that something can tarnish my reputation, right? Even as a friend, like it hurts me, you know? So it's like, and then now you're bringing in business into this where the client wasn't so happy because it was like, dude, like the vibes were kind of off because like it wasn't you, you know? And I understood that where it was like, yeah, the DJ was doing his thing, but like at the end of the day, they booked me, not him. You know, and yeah, I went, you know, above and beyond to try to make it, you know, find a cover and be right with both clients, right? And then now, you know, this person thought that I was going to sponsor it because all they wanted to do was give me a shout out, you know, and then I'm out of pocket now because now I got to pay the DJ and I had already paid my team, you know, and then I had a client that I probably lost because they weren't happy with the service because I wasn't there from the beginning, you know? So it's like, that was probably the biggest mistake that happened, you know, and I tried to do it again at some point, even though like I'm supposed to be learning my lesson. But on this one, I made sure that I spoke to the client and I, you know, sort of wanted to make them understand like this opportunity, you know, for me to be able to DJ this wedding. So I wanted to make sure like, hey, like I'm going to give you whatever options you want. If it's doable, you can say no. And they thought about it and they said no. So I was like, you know what? No to the influencer, which could have been, you know, an awesome event. But I went to the wedding, I did my thing, and it was just awesome. So it was like, yeah, I learned my lesson, but it's like, why'd you try to do it again, Eric? And then I remember like thinking about it after, and I was like, I'm done, dude. Like influencer events, like you got to put your clients first, you know? And I'm kind of glad that I didn't do it a second time, you know, even though I kind of was like, hey, maybe they'll be cool with it, you know? It's like, dude, it's someone's wedding. You know what I mean? It's like, if you already messed it up once, like, don't try to do it again, you know?
So now, can you say the name?
Who?
The influencer?
that owes me?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to say it, man. You know, because
I always say the name.
No, I know you
would.
would.
That type of person is like, that's not, because it's not fair, bro. Some people.
No, I know. I know.
Untold raw.
Untold raw. I know.
You gotta be raw. You gotta let it be known. Like, because then what if other people get screwed over?
Yeah,
you know?
I know what you mean.
But it's all good if you can.
I mean,
but
that's one of the biggest mistakes. I mean, I could tell you another mistake, you know, that we did, and we actually have a mutual mistake.
Yep.
So then we can definitely send the name on that. But I mean, I feel like, you know, if this goes viral, you know what I mean? And then like I name drop this, you know what I mean? And then like a lot of the clients that I still have are still part of the same circle. So then it's like, I wouldn't want to, you know, kind of, that this will come. I mean, it's been years since it happened. Cool. I learned my lesson. I'm never going to do it again. But, you know, I name drop this person, probably they don't hire me no more, but you know what I mean? And then it came up, and then, you know, with social media now, like I wouldn't want to, you know, do that. It was just I'll take the L. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have learned how to work with these people. And I'm sure you guys know, and a lot of people listening, they know how some influencers are. You hear about it all the time. Yeah. They go up to you. I've had it plenty of times now where they'll ask me, their managers will call me, hey, dude, do you want to sponsor an event? And it's like, excuse me, like sponsor? Like, what do you mean? I've done them and stuff, but there has to be a cause or something that's valuable for me in return. You
beneficial both ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I have a strong girl that she gonna be like, you ain't doing it for free.
There we go, D. There you go. I like that.
D, you know, D. D don't play games. She's like, no, what you mean you gonna do it for free?
Yeah.
No, because like obviously, first of all, if I'm gonna lose out on time with her, she knows. She's like, hold on. You know, what I love about it, she lets me do my business. She lets me do my thing, but it's not. She'll call me out on that. She's like, no, you're not. Like, why? Like you got all these other edits to do. You got all these other people that paid you. Prioritize them. Right. So she's big on that.
No, that's good, man. It's hard to say no sometimes, right? Like I'm that type of person where, like I consider myself very nice. Mm-hmm. So like for me to say no, it's like it's very tough, or it really hurts me if I don't do things correctly. So I could be like, well, they asked, you know, it's like
right.
You know, it's like, you know, like.
I know, because Mario called me like at 4 a.m, be like, hey, we doing this? I'm like, I don't want to tell him no, but it's 4 a.m.
Yeah,
no, just mess around. So with everything that's like taking on 2 clients and picking one opportunity over the next, what would you say is like 3 things you learned in the field, like that cannot be taught, that even if somebody told you, you'd probably be like, oh, okay, but you had to learn while you in the field? Because I heard you say you took an L, but you learned from it. So technically you took a lesson. So that L was a lesson, not a loss.
Right.
So what are like 3 things you will say that's like a must know once you only learned once you got in the field?
Reputation. Reputation is everything. I think that'd be on one of those three things that I would mention. Could you imagine me name dropping and then that person's reputation, but not only that, then people coming to me and being like, why did that DJ say that? Right. And then again, with that client, right, reputation, I felt terrible. It's like I probably lost the client and then probably who was considering me and chose me for a specific reason. And then now they're like, dude, like he chose and all that, so I think reputation is big. If you're going to do something, stick to it, be good at it, and just have a good reputation, right? Sure. I've heard of so many awesome, businesses out there, and then that one mistake ruins their reputation and they're done. They don't even exist anymore. Even people that'll do interviews, and there goes their reputation. They were once known, as somebody that was, I don't know, respectful or a very known business, and then something happens that taints their reputation, and then boom, it's gone, right? So I would say that's one. Number two, relationships. I think that's important. I wouldn't be where I am at if it weren't for the people that I know. So like, how they always say it's not about
what you know, who you know,
for sure, right? And so that really applies to me and where I've got, right? Again, struggling through COVID, who got me the job? My boy Refade, right? How did I meet, Leti Peniche from the radio, through a mutual friend. Shout out to my boy Liquid Courage, right? Glam Tender. How did I meet Glam Tender? My boy Liquid Courage. Again, he's the one that got me, and then through Glam Tender, I was able to get in the influencer world, right? So it's like the relationships that you built, will eventually lead you, right? It's who you know. And I'm pretty sure as I continue to go on, like at some point, I'm going to look back and I'll be like, damn, I made it here because of who I met, right? And stuff like that. And I think, number one, that's never taught, and you'll probably hear it all the time. It's like, just believe in yourself.
Sure.
I always live by two rules. And I can't remember where I heard them, but do what you love and follow your dreams. Those are the two things that I live by. So in everything that I apply in my life, I do what I love and I follow my dreams. I'm living my dreams. Yeah, maybe they kind of shifted, throughout that, but at the end of the day, like I believed in myself, right? And they don't teach you that. Like you have to find it within yourself to believe in yourself. Yeah, somebody might influence that, in you, or that drive, but at the end of the day, like it's your life, right? So you have to create those opportunities, right? So, and everything that I've done, right, and everything that I shared, and all my low moments, right, at some point I had to figure it out. I believed in myself, right? And then here I am now. So I would say that reputation, relationship building, and believing in yourself.
I think this is very important. I know you're a humble dude.
Yeah.
I know you're a humble man. I'm going to have to say this just because I want businesses to really get motivation. This is not just about storytelling, the untold stories of people, but I want people to get motivation. I think we said it on the last about me, but I want to know for every single person that walks in, talk to me about what's the most amount of money you made in a month.
Ooh.
And if it's not, let's go a month. No,
let's do it.
Let's go a month.
I wouldn't.
What's the most you made? I know, like for me, we talked about it, but I want to know, like, what's the most you made in a month?
55,000. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And how did that feel?
Oh man. Till this day, I can't believe it. Right. Like, this is probably the first time I drop it publicly. Not many people know. Right. I like to just kind of keep that whole financial things, but for a business that is listening to it now, again, believe in yourself. Like, dude, that's someone's salary. You know what I mean? Like there's people right now in 2024 that don't even have that as a salary. Some people have this as a salary. And for me to be able to make that in a month, like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It was in May for me is my busiest month. There's, in May, there's religious events. It's wedding season / quinceañera season. There's a lot of high school events going on. So basically what ended up happening was I had 2 huge high school events. Both checks were $10,000. So just off of 2 high school events, I had made $20K right off of that. And then the other one were just kind of micro events. I did like a total of 19 events. So whatever 55,000 divided by 19 is kind of like what it was. But yeah, it was crazy that I just was like, okay. And it happened last year. So that's when I knew that leaving the 9 to 5 was probably a good decision, because I was like, dude, like this would have been my salary if I would have stayed at the 9 to 5, you know?
See, that's beautiful to hear. Beautiful. I know you're a humble man, so I was like, let me see if he'll do it, because I feel like people need to know, because that's inspiration. You know, it's not really like being, oh, I'm out there doing it. And I know you never told probably anybody this, but again, it's for everybody out there to understand it is possible. Things are, but you're talking for someone that comes from nothing to people actually, and to there's a bigger place you can be, and it can happen. So shout out to you, bro. Respect
Thank you,
that.
thank you. And then for like all the homies listening, they're probably gonna be like, hey bro, let's go celebrate. You never told me this. Like obviously I got student loans, and there was other stuff that I had to like kind of pay off. So yeah, making the 55,000 was amazing. But again, most of the money that I make, there's priorities. I'm constantly reinvesting. All right. And I'm constantly like, if there's any debt or anything else that we have to do, I'm always just taking care of business. Simple as that.
All right. So we are at Untold Raw. I'm gonna do the name dropping because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm here about the people, and I want people to not get screwed over. And I think you know where this is going, because
Absolutely.
I want this person to be in the forefront for people to understand. And it's sad because he takes advantage of a lot of immigrants, a lot of Hispanic people. I don't know of other cultures, but he's really big in the game, especially in the entertainment industry. And I think it's not fair for him to get through and get by with everything he's been doing. So I'm going to say, because, that's just me. I've always been real, and I want people's pockets and time and everything to be respected. But it's AJ's Creation.
AJ's Creations one, name Sergio Estrada. That's his legal
Is he related
name.
to you?
No, he's not. I know. That's the thing. And you know what? That's the thing that makes my blood boil, because it's like, bro, you're not representing the Estradas. You know what I mean? Like, you're screwing them over. I don't know if we can somehow create a small clip of this and put it up on TikTok and put it up on Instagram, and just really kind of PSA and just call kind of like a call to action, right, with social media. I think nowadays, we hear about businesses, that'll do something, and then somebody comes forward and then their response isn't the best way. Right. I think this person is probably one of the worst, right? Not only, that you've interacted with, but I've also interacted with, and very well known in the influencer world, right? He promotes himself as an influencer, party planner, celebrity party planner. He's done huge celebrities. He's done huge influencers, right? Like, his work is amazing, but at the end of the day, it's not his work. He's just the one, the face behind it, because he books us to do the work, right? So it's like, that's how I kind of got screwed over through him, because it's like he needed a DJ for a big time, client, and it's like, here we did our work, and then we didn't get paid, and then other vendors didn't get paid, and he's been doing this for years, man. This dates back till 2018. He's even come out on the news. This person knows how to protect himself very well. So he never really puts any public pictures out there. He just strictly keeps it business. More recently, obviously, more people have caught on because he screwed over a lot more people. Like Mario said, he screws over a lot of immigrants, because a lot of these immigrants are small businesses that are in the entertainment business. So everything from like caterers to like decorators, right, to like servers to DJs, anybody that's on a small business in the entertainment, or party scene, right, for private events, he'll book. And for some reason, he doesn't pay them, and he doesn't. And we're talking big money, at least in the event that I did for him. He got us for a mini concert production, which we did, right? And so other people happened. So he kept giving me excuses, right? Like, hey, don't worry, I'm going to pay you, blah, 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 blah. Months, weeks, it's almost been a year already, still nothing. So as we started to kind of dig in, I was able to get in touch with that client that we never got in touch with the client because we got subcontracted through him. Right. But we found that client, and we're like, hey, like, are you aware of what's going on? And she goes, you know what? Sit down. I'm like, damn, like, what's going on? So we sit down, we talk, and starts bawling her eyes out, dude. Basically, what ended up happening is she paid Sergio Estrada, Aegis Creations one, $50,000 to do her daughter's quinceañera. And from that $50,000 in that invoice was, all the vendors that he had subcontract to make this party happen. And so she was telling me how much she was getting harassed by these vendors going to her house and be like, hey, you owe me money. And she's trying to explain to them, like, I already paid. I paid them a month ago. So imagine, like, her, like, she's devastated, because at the end of the day, the event happened, but like now she has people and she feels so bad, and everybody's like trying to figure out what's going on and stuff. And again, this dates back since 2018. So like, imagine like, he owes me money, I'm pretty sure, that, and all the other vendors just from that event, 50,000. Where did that 50,000 go? You know what I mean? It's like, and some people have even said that they've gotten paid in checks and those checks bounce, and so it's like, it's insane that up until now, like he's still functioning. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he doesn't show his face and all that, but it's like, please, social media, do your thing.
Yeah.
Like
Sergio
we need to
Estrada,
cancel
you're not
this
standing
fool.
on business.
Yeah,
that is a
man.
problem,
The
man.
way he talks though, bro, because I hired him for the ice cream shop
Right.
to help me build the set. I hired him for that, and I think so. Before I gave him the money or anything, because I already been screwed over before, I reached out to him and to Candy Lover, and they both vouched for him. And I was like, because I'm giving him a lot of money. I'm like, you guys vouched? Like, yeah, but they weren't aware at that time what he was doing.
Wow.
Because we never had that issue with him,
right.
Yeah, so like at that moment, I called him like, this is what I want. He's like, yeah, we can do it. This and that, and like this. I'm like, okay, cool. So how much? And he gave me the quote, $15,000. I'm like, okay, he's vouching for him, and so is Candy. I'm like, 15,000. All right, cool, but I'm gonna give you half of that, and I'll give you the other half when it's done, because I've been screwed over where I gave the full amount. So I was like, we're gonna do half, and then I'll pay the other half. So as soon as I gave him that 7,500 or 7,000, he disappeared. He was responding. It took him. Oh, I'm busy. As soon as I gave him that deposit, it's like, who knows where he was at. His workers ended up coming in. They're mad at me.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, why they give me this attitude? I'm like, I paid. Like, I don't know what's up with them. And they started telling me, like, basically the girl, she kind of got like, I give her respect. She told me, are you kind of like, that's what you get kind of for not paying. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I mean, your budget's only like $3,000 or $2,000. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's $15,000. I paid him half already, because he didn't want to pay for the wood. He didn't want to pay for labor. And I'm like, bro, that's enough for labor, for the wood, and a little bit of labor for them to live by. And then that other $7,000 I was going to pay after could cover, he gets a little share and they get their good amount.
Right.
And that's what we were going through in that moment. And it's just crazy, bro, how he works, how he makes it look like bro, I wish if you give me his number, I'll be able to pop it up. But it was basically like, my people are ready. Like, let me know when you're ready. Like, he was just like one of those salesmen that he's gonna
Sweet
close
talker,
you.
Like he'll make it happen for you. You know?
And like my girl was funny enough. Girls will call it. She was like, something tells me about like I don't feel the right energy. Damn. And I'm like, nah, but Candy and Strations, they kind of like put him out there. So I'm like,
Boss
but
lady
she told
knows. Boss lady knows.
me, she knows.
knew.
She was telling me like, hey, I don't have a good feeling. He reminds me a lot of somebody, and the way he talks and everything is like, it's too confident. Like, this and that. So when they started building the set, they started building like basically tear me down sets where like you just set it up and you're going to break it down tomorrow. I'm like, no, this has to be permanent. He's like, he didn't say that. I'm like, well, call him, because that's exactly what I told him. This is the service that I wanted.
Wow.
So they started doing it, bro. And they were here like 14 hours per day for a whole like 2 weeks. Wow. And he didn't want to pay him. He like, it literally cost him so long just to give him an extra 1,000 and then an extra 1,000. And then after that, he didn't want to pay. I think the most he probably gave him was like 4,000 or 45, and I already gave him 7,000. Everything was passing by there. I was like, look, just keep doing your thing. I was like, I'll take care of it, because I knew I still had my second half to pay. So I'm like, regardless, keep doing it. I'll pay you guys if he doesn't. I didn't tell him, but that was in the back of my head. And sure enough, as the day, bro, I remember perfectly. It was like we're leading up to finally, well, throughout the transition, almost getting to the end. I started doing my work. I started paying someone to paint. I started putting the floor. All the things he should have done, I started doing that on my part. Wow. They were just doing like a 20% version of what it should have been the full 100%. Right. And then he's ignoring me. I'm doing all these things. Finally came the day where they were almost finishing the wall, everything. Right. And he comes with 2 Winchell donuts, seating, that like, I'm like, what is this? He's like, this is the booth. I'm like, the booth we talked about was an L shape. Look at the paper. Look at the design I gave you. You claim this is it. What is this? He's like, and he tried to say a sympathy story as far as like, oh, I went to San Diego. I paid a lot of money. He started saying all this, and like, I will never. I'm on business, but at the same time, I'm very calm. I don't speak loud. That day, my girl texted me. She's like, "You got to come here," because I didn't know about the windshield donut type of look.
Yeah.
I get here and I flip. I'm like, "You ain't getting paid." I start like laying them out because I'm
Yeah.
like, "You said this, and that. Tell me what's what. Why did I have to do this, and that?" I was like, "You said this, and that," and he didn't know what to do. He wasn't like, I was like, "You're not getting paid the second half." I was like, "No, like,
Man.
and you're gonna pay them what they're worth, like all the work they put in." And I knew he wasn't going to or whatever, but I was like, "But you're gonna pay them. If not, I'm gonna take care of it. As far as I'm gonna take care of him." And I let it be known, and right away he's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm sorry, like this and that," and he kind of like walked away, and like I was like, "You could take this or whatever, but I'm over this shit.
Yeah.
Like you wasting my time. The whole purpose of paying you that is to give me my time back, and now I had to be here and put a lot of time into it." So with the whole thing, bro, is I ended up paying forgot the company they have, but I ended up paying them for the service. I was like, if he pays them, but I'm gonna pay him. I told him, keep doing it. I'm gonna take care of it. But bro, it's crazy how how he does that. Like how he plays through it and doesn't care. Like he just takes people's money, bro, like as if it's nothing. And they were working 14 hours and they had a family.
Crazy.
They had a son and a
crazy.
daughter.
That's wild.
And bro, and then they were telling me stories where like he'll hold hostage as far as he'll get them for one shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He won't pay them for that shoot until they do the second shoot.
one.
So they're
Oh my
obligated to work
gosh.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, bro. And I feel like people like that with no heart like that, bro, they gotta get like people gotta talk about it. I don't know.
Do.
And I get it. It's the families that, because he works with a lot of big people, they don't want to lose that relationship. But you guys have to value yourselves and understand there's other ways. And and I'm here to speak on that person because it sucks, bro.
No, yeah, he has to get canceled, social, whatever, like. And people have to be aware not to book them. Like there's better options out there that are cheaper and that'll do a better job, to be honest. And just because he markets himself as this celebrity / influencer, party planner, like you're not the one that's making it happen. It's the vendors, and at the end of the day, we're the ones that make it happen. So, it's unfortunate. And he's screwed over so many people. He's been doing it for so many years and he continues to do it. And he's like trying to rebrand, and he knows like more and more people are finding out about him. So I think it's time, that, we get some social media justice because again, if you take this to the cops or if you try to, do the whole legal route, like ain't nobody got time for that. At least I don't, which is why I've taken so long to kind of speak on it and really try to do something about it because like, I don't have time, man. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, I took a big loss and stuff, but hopefully we can get some social media justice.
I had my lawyers ready. I was ready. But luckily he was like, no, like he got scared because I was like, bro, this is not going to settle with me. Like,
That's
I'm not
probably why he does it, because he talks a good one to see who's going to back down. And then when someone like you come along and like, oh, I'm ready. Yeah. Then he's like, oh, no, it's cool. Never mind.
Yeah, he took it very, when I came in, I've never been that disrespectful, but I came in and I was like, no, like this is not going to stand for me. Like, bro, I work hard for my money. And like, I respect my time and everything. So
what's his name again? Sergio
Estrada, and then you'll find him on all social media platforms as AJS Creations 1. That's his handle, AJS Creations 1.
You guys hear that? Make sure you guys keep a lookout for that. Do not get screwed over. Sergio Estrada. I don't even want to say his name. Listen, bro. You're not standing on business, and it's time to start standing on business and make what's wrong right.
I want you to just give your final say. Give me a quick rundown, not a quick rundown, just very quick, one motivational thing you can tell business owners out there trying to make it.
Yeah, we're going to end it with, do what you love and follow your dreams.
There you go.
There you go. While we at that time, we have reached the end of the episode. It's your boy Lavelle here.
It's your boy Mario.
And I guess
Estradation.
DJ Estradation, Eric Estrada, and you guys are watching a new episode of Untold Raw. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. That way you get a notification anytime we post and you guys can stay up afloat with us. Thank you for watching Untold Raw.